Hello.
Hello.
This way. There it is. How are you?
We are good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you all?
We're good.
Great, great.
Morning. You woke up
Morning. Here it's
recently?
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
we
how's
have
the
to.
weather there?
It's cloudy today. We might get some rain, and
Okay.
so we're gonna have to adapt practice a little bit because we don't know if we'll be
All
able to
right.
go outside. We might have to go
Okay.
indoors.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, a lot of exercises will be going on.
Yeah. Lots of indoors gym and you
Yeah.
know, you know the drill.
So, yeah. Yes, I know. I know. So, sh- uh, we can start now. I guess
Yeah.
we have enough viewers right now.
Yeah.
So, hello viewers, my name is Kunal Singh and I will be your host for today. So, I am a tennis passionate myself and would like to welcome you all to AceTalks, where we celebrate tennis. We have taken this initiative to spread the sport to many enthusiasts all over the country. So we have two members on our webinar right now. So we welcome Mr. Sanjay Singh, who is an ATP coach himself, and Miss Luisa Stefani, world ranking 39. We welcome you both to our webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so a little bit about the introduction. So starting with a coach. So I would say he's an ATP coach. Is he's an ATP coach and he's an ex-coach of Mr. Leander Paes, who is a legend in India, and he has traveled all over the world with him. He has attended many Grand Slams. He is an ex-member of the Indian Davis Cup team himself. So we are lucky to have you on a webinar to have a first-hand experience of what exactly is an insight in tennis. So welcome, sir. Welcome,
Thank
welcome,
you.
coach. And Miss Luisa Stefani, we all know about you. You are a world ranking 39 currently, and it's been a long journey for you to reach here. And she made her debut in WTA at the 2015 Brazil Tennis Cup, and she made a Grand Slam debut at the 2019 French Open through a wild card. So it's a achievement. It's a achievement, Luisa.
Yeah.
Great to have you on our show. Great to have you.
Thank,
Uh,
thank
so,
you.
uh, so right now we should be starting with the questions that I will be asking you on this session of Ace
Sure.
Talks. So
We're
shall
ready.
we? Shall we start?
Sure. Yeah.
So
We're ready to go.
yeah.
We are ready.
So as we all know, you are a current world ranking 39. So we would like to ask you that how did your journey started in tennis, and when did you develop the interest in this sport over others?
Yeah, so when I was very little, I always used to love sports. I used to do a lot of sports. My parents always, I have an older brother, just 1 year older, and
Uh,
my parents, they always encouraged us to do sports, academics, and all of it. So I used to play a lot of soccer in Brazil. It's the biggest sport there. So I used to play futsal indoors. I used to do swimming, taekwondo, and then all the sports in school as well, like volleyball, basketball, handball.
you have an experience of taekwondo.
Yeah, I love taekwondo. It's one of my favorites actually. I wish I could go back as well.
All right. So we are glad that you chose tennis.
Yeah, after a little while, once we started tennis a little late at like 10 years old, it was
Okay.
kind of random. My mom signed up for a lesson and she started playing, and then she liked the sport, and then she was like, let me put the kids to play tennis as well. So
Okay.
then we started, and from then on, we never stopped. I loved it from the very first day, and then we gradually increased the amount of time I was spending playing tennis a few times a week, and one time a week, then two, then three, and then it just became a dream and a lot more. But yeah, it
All
was
right.
love at first sight.
Okay. Okay. So this question is basically for the coach. So, so, how can a tennis coach right now in the initial years how can he take his step forward in becoming an ATP coach? So, what are the tips that you would like to give them?
It's a long process, and it's a hard work of a
Okay.
person who is doing that. Basically, like I started tennis very early in my age. With all that experience, you have to do a lot of education stuff. You have to be on field also, so that you know practically what is going on the
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then you have to be very much open-minded,
Okay.
because it's not that you know everything. We still learn every step we learn.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the
Correct.
thing. And to be an ATP coach, well, because I was with Leander Paes, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still, because he
Okay.
has to retire first. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we were there and we had experience, and he recommended my name, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have a selection committee where they have to see what are the education you have done, what are the training classes you have done, all these things. You have to
Mm-hmm.
come to that stage. Plus, yeah, with him, the experience of winning slams and being in such a big stage where normally a people cannot think. So
Mm.
all these things combines well. And then, yes, when players recommend you that, okay, he's my coach and this is what it is, that's how it
Mm.
gets into the system.
All right. All right. So glad to have this have this information. So I hope all the coaches in the field on court will be seeing this and they will take this tips. So it will help them. So
Yes, they have to
it's
learn every step. They have to learn. They have
okay.
to keep their mind open to learn. That's a very important part.
All right, all right. So this question is basically for both of you. It's an open call. So I would like to ask one by one, what's your perspective on the role of fitness in tennis? It has a lot of running involved on
Yeah,
court.
yeah,
So
definitely.
so Luisa, what's your take on this?
I think fitness is one of the, won't say the most important, because I think mental and fitness are probably the biggest parts in tennis. Just your body is your equipment to work. So the way you take care of it, the way you train it, what you put inside, what you do with it in the gym, off court, on court. I think that's one of the most important things to get you ready to compete and to do your profession and to do our profession and play tennis. So uh, fitness in general is so important. I can I love this. I love this part of tennis, and I think it's
Okay.
getting the way it's getting more competitive and even more the modern tennis it's playing. You need to be able to last for many hours on court, and with in tight moments, pressure moments, you need to know your body, learn about it, and also make sure it's ready to be out there for a long period of time. So fitness is probably one of the most important aspects of tennis, especially nowadays. Yeah.
Great, great. So coach, what's your perspective on this?
Well, fitness is very important, and that's how I started my career with Leander Pace.
Okay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and there was a time, and I'm so lucky to have both of this, Leander and Luisa, who was very much into the fitness. In fact, to Luisa, sometimes I have to tell her not to go to the gym. Otherwise, she loves to go to the gym, at least to even touch the equipment. She thinks she has done it, just to preserve her. Yeah. And with
All right.
Leander was also a very wild on that. And that's why he is still fit and he's still ready, telling me that he wants to come back and play next year. Well,
Okay.
sometime
So
around, for him, it used to be like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. He used to tell me, okay, Dada, let's go. Let's do some fitness work. So fitness is very important. You can say it's around 30%. 70% is fitness nowadays. Because if you're not fit, your
mm-hmm.
legs are not moving, you
Yeah.
cannot reach to the ball. And if you don't reach to the ball, then you get upset that you're not able to hit that ball. So
Absolutely,
fitness is
absolutely.
very, very important in tennis, any sports.
Yeah, I believe the same thing, that fitness is really important for all of us. Like in normal conditions also, but in sports also, it's really
Yes,
important. So
yes.
yeah.
And
So
in fact, Luisa
mhm.
is such a girl that I have to tell her that
Okay.
relax, don't do too much, because she really wants to go and do workout. And likewise, even Leander used to be like that. You know.
All right. So it's great. It's great. So both of your players are into fitness.
Oh
It's
yes,
lovely to see. It's lovely to see that.
yeah, and I have to
So,
preserve them.
yes, it's really important also.
Yeah.
So, Luisa, what do you think that a player should keep in mind by selecting a coach for themselves? Like it's really hard right now. It's nowadays to select one coach who can do wonder, who can train him, who can train her. So,
Mhm.
what's your take on that?
I think it's important for you to trust the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the main things for you to trust as a person, trust with your tennis, with my career, and I think yeah, that trust will build your a connection, whatever connection it is that you have on court. Like you need to be able to believe that the coach is helping you achieve your goals, that you're on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
and also that you're learning something. It's got to be someone that you feel like you're gonna be able to grow. As for
All
me
right.
as a person, as a tennis player, but especially on court, I'm getting something that I know will help me in the future. But I think trust is the most important thing. I think if you believe in someone and they believe in your dream, they believe in what you want to achieve, that's definitely one important step to just in the right direction. Because if you don't have that, then if you have doubts from the start, then on your team, imagine you have plenty of doubts outside your team. So if you have that inside as well, I don't think you can go that far. So I think for me, I think that's the most important
Great, great.
aspect.
So, Coach, would you like to add something to it?
Yeah, the trust is very important. That
All
is
right.
the main thing, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, because if, for example, if Luisa is doing something wrong, and I have something in my mind, I have to tell her that no, this is how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to
Right.
trust, because if she is doing wrong, and if I say, oh, no problem, keep doing, you are good. So basically, I'm the wrong person on that, because I'm not helping her to move forward, to develop some new thing. So I have to be
Correct.
very
Correct.
honest with the system and the
All right.
trust.
Okay.
Plus, also, coach is the one, like we are on the road, so there's a trust has to be there. Like with Leander, I had 30 years. Still, we talk, we do the thing. That's a trust we have. So same thing with Luisa also. Trust was very important, and belief that yes, we can do this. Because if there's no belief, if there's no trust, then there's no use of doing the work, because that is very important. So
Great.
coach plays
Nice.
a very vital role, where making you mentally relax, trust is there, you believe that I'm moving forward, at least in my back somebody is there to take care of it if anything goes wrong. And he should
Mm-hmm.
be, or she should be, very honest to say, because in this world everybody is very nice. They say, oh yeah, very good, you're doing great. But then she's saying,
Yes.
I'm not doing great, I'm losing, but still I'm doing great. What is this? So this means they are not telling the truth. And we should be
Correct.
very close enough to understand that yes, whatever we are doing for the betterment, for the improvement.
Great. Great.
That is very
So,
important.
yes, yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you, sir. I totally agree with you both. So, like you now you will play US Open, we all know. So, like, what's your take? What's the difference that you feel in this year's US Open as compared to the rest of the previous US Open? Like currently, we are saying that there is no audience play is going on. So, how is this impacting? Will it impact the players performance or something? What's your take on this?
Yeah, it's definitely very different this year. Like the whole thing about it, not having fans on site, and I mean the organization did a good job putting up uh, games and making the bubble work so that we can all be here. So I think that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually didn't play the US Open. This is going to be my first US Open. Last year I was here as an alternate, so I can tell the difference.
All right.
So I'm very excited for it, even if it's under these conditions and this is the way it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely doing a good job keeping the players busy and offering everything we need, like a recovery room. The structure, the facilities are still amazing, and obviously it's different that we cannot go outside the bubble, so it's only the hotel and the site. But other than that, I think it's the way we had to do to make this work. So we have everything at the hotel, all the medicals. We have to get tested every 4 days and twice once we get here. So they're making sure everybody's following the procedures, wearing masks, keeping distance. Everything is by code on the site. Like for you to eat food, you have to scan a code and then they bring it to you. So they're
That's
doing,
great. That's
they're
great.
yeah, they're really doing a good job with that.
Yeah. So, coach, what's your take?
Oh, that's
Anything
one
to
of its
add?
kind. This is one of its kind I have ever seen in my 29 years of traveling. Like, there is no spectator, which is surprising. And then we can walk freely. We are not
Okay.
being stopped by anyone saying that, oh, excuse me, autograph, please, autograph, please. That's not there. And the place where we used to avoid walking around, now we can walk
Mm-hmm.
freely. We have sports activities over there, like golf and mini tennis and all this stuff. And also, yes, we feel uneasy that there are not no spectators, but it's a very good work they have done. At least the players are playing, which is
Mm-hmm.
wonderful, and we have all the facilities, whatever you can say extra now, where
All
like
right.
in the hotel, in
So
the
they have
stadium.
compensated everything.
Oh yes, and it's the first time I cannot go inside the locker room.
So, so everything is available at your room,
Oh
which is
yes,
great.
yeah, the everything is so great over here. It's surprising, but yes, we have to wear masks. We have to take precaution, as Luisa said. And this will be one of its kind. It will be a memory that because of COVID-19, the tournament happened and we were like this. That's why I'm going to take a lot of pictures so sure that okay, this is also a condition where we played.
Yes, so this is definitely a memory for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Yes, but what I feel is players normally get a lot of boost with the audience also. But this year there won't be any audience present on in the court and the stadium. So, like, don't you think it will impact the
Well,
atmosphere and all?
yes, there are some players who likes to take the energy from the people and
Mm-hmm.
they play good. But at the end of the day, who's sitting next to you is your coach.
Yeah,
Anything
that's
goes
true.
good
That's
or
true.
bad, you're looking at the coach. So coach
What
is
to
there.
do?
Yeah, coach is there. So that energy is always there. So which is wonderful.
That
And it will be
yeah,
free of other energy. It will be a positive energy looking at the player saying that, okay, this is how it should be. This is how you are. Plus, something you have to wear mask, so you can't even say anything now.
yeah. It's a mandatory. It's
Yeah,
mandatory to wear mask everywhere in order
yes.
to protect yourself.
So it will
So
be a good
we should
experiment.
always do that.
It will be a good experiment how the player will interact with the coach when he's sitting on the side.
Yeah, it's kind of a like a bonding, I would say, that
Yeah,
it's a chemistry between the coach and the player that will keep all the talking.
yes. And the talking will be in a different way now.
Yes. So yeah, so uh, like Luisa, like we all know you are doing great in tennis, and just want to know that what are the what all a player should do in order to become a Grand Slam player. Like there's a difference, like many of us wants to become play a Grand Slam, but some didn't, some do play. But so what extra mile does a player have to go in order to get that
Yeah.
extra push?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like it's a process. It's cheesy to say, but trust the process. It's been like I played tennis since I was 10. I love the
Mm-hmm.
game. I love the sport. I've always worked hard at it. I think it's just taking one step at a time and just not skipping work. Just it's a daily work. You're spending less time on the court than you are off court. So I think the off court is it's been like very important, and also the amount of practice. They say you gotta get 10,000 hours to master something. I feel like you need more than that in tennis, but it's just that daily work for a long time with intention, with purpose. You gotta dream. You gotta believe that you can get there, and then slowly or faster for some.
So so
You just gotta
basically so
work.
basically you say that belief and the process is really
Yeah,
important for
believe the
any player.
process and training. Yeah, you need to feel prepared. You need to feel like you deserve it as well to be where you are. So I think that goes all into it as well.
So like we say, you have to earn something,
For
right?
sure. Yeah, it doesn't come easy. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
for sure.
it's a very different sport. It's a very not so difficult, but it's a quite a physical kind of sport. It takes a
Yeah,
lot of you.
it takes, yeah, both mentally and physically. So
Yes,
it's very
yes.
rewarding. It's very rewarding when you set yourself to achieve something and you do it. And then there's always more for you to look forward to and for you to try to achieve as well. So I think that's the beauty in tennis. Every week you get a new chance to outdo yourself, to learn more, to do better, to keep training and enjoying the tour life and the tennis and playing tennis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's great. Yeah, you have to definitely earn something. So, coach, I would like to ask you that as as we are in India, so I'm in India. So, but like we see that uh, Mahesh Bhupati is retired, has retired. Leander Paes is going to. So, what do you think that like most of the like highly competitive, highly professional players in the Indian tennis are retiring. So, what do you think, coach, is the future of Indian tennis in the like if we talk about the international circuits? So, do we have generation two, generation three kind of ready for to bring India its old glory? What's your take?
Yes, yes, we do have. In fact, if you see Sumit Nagal, who is in the
Mm-hmm.
US Open, Ram
Yes.
Kumar Ramanathan, okay, and Ganesh, there are a lot of other players out there in India who are ready, but it is just the help they need from the system back in home, which they
Mm-hmm.
don't get, because it is not so easy. The traveling, the staying, the coach fees, there are too much of expenses are also there. It's not just going and hitting the ball and coming back. So there's a
Yeah. So
process, and they need some help. We do have second tier ready already, I can see.
okay.
And
So
the
yeah,
coaches has to
because we
be,
see. Yes, you were
yes,
saying something. Sorry.
now coaches also has to improve their thought process. The thinking has to
Mm-hmm.
be good. They have to be positive, and they should look for the players' benefit, not for themselves. Because
Mm-hmm.
if players gets better, they will get better. The If you want to do it yourself, then you're not helping players, and you have to be honest to the players that you can do it. Not there are a lot of processes are there. So that's the reason. Yes, we do have players in India.
All right, all right. So, so it's a chance. Like we can see players like Rohan Bopan now is doing great. So, who's like Sumit Nagal, as you have mentioned. So, so they have really done do better. So, I've seen a match with. So it's a kind of a very celebrity kind of match in which everyone was talking about Sumit Nagal's first match was going to be with Roger Federer. So yeah, in which he has played amazing. So what's your take? What's your view on that?
See,
So
people are talking about that, which is great, but look at the hard work that boy has put forward
hmm
from the
hmm
young to come to that stage. How many 1.3 billion people in India? How many tennis players are
yes,
there in
true.
the world? So they don't see all these things. They just say, "Oh, he's playing. Oh, that's the greatest exhibition." No, poor boy has worked so hard to come to this stage and to play against Federer.
Hmm.
It's a great achievement. Like when Leander used to play singles, everybody used to, oh, he's playing. But look at the boy. He was working so hard, you know.
Yes,
And
I've
now
seen
Luisa
his match.
also, yeah, with Luisa also, she's plays singles too, you know. So it is tough, but we have to be ready for it mentally. And that's what Sumit is doing. Other boys are doing. We have good players in India, but they need some help from the government, from the association to bring them up because it's not so easy. They're traveling, the expenses, so much goes into it.
Right, right. So what are your tips as a coach, as an ATP coach? What are your tips to like to increase the mental toughness level of a player? On like, what's your take? What's your tip?
Oh, that's
Can
a
you
that's a that's a very big thing nowadays. And
because we can see a lot of players getting frustrated on court, banging their rackets on floor, and so
well,
like so.
that's not from now. It has been going on for so long. But sometimes the racket company tells them to break some rackets so that they get advertised on that.
Really? Is it so?
Oh yes, oh yes. I know in my career in 29 years, some of the players because
Okay.
they want the racket to be on the screen. But yes, mental is very important, and there are some of the points which, if if a player takes into it, will be great for them. You know, like for
So
example,
what are those points?
like you have to fuel your brain. Brain is like a muscle. Like
Okay.
in a car, you need to put a gas to run the car. So fuel is very
Right.
important. You have to have a good food. You have to have a vegetable. You have to have fruits. You know, instead of going to the grocery pick up a candy, you can pick up almonds, walnuts, which is good for your brain. That's a fuel for your brain. Second
Right.
of
Right.
all, second of all, nowadays with all the work which is going on there, everybody is doing multitasking. They are doing a lot of stuff, and what I feel, phone is the biggest thing where people are busy every time.
Okay.
So they have to stop doing multitasking, to be very honest to tell you. They have to be focused because it drains you the brain gets drained out totally if you're doing multitasking. And then you get frustrated because you're not able to do it. You know.
hmm
Thirdly, like I'll say sleep is very important. At
Okay.
least 6 to 8 hours of sleep is very important for your brain to relax. Okay.
Right. Right.
And then you have like interaction with the people, talk with the people, read some books, freshen your brain. It's not just one thing you are doing,
hmm
you know. And most importantly, you have to be very positive. You
Okay.
cannot take
Yes,
stress.
that's true. That's true.
You cannot take stress if you are stressed with anything,
hmm
any small thing. I should say that if you have some confidence with you, like anybody who's traveling or anybody with you who you can talk openly, talk.
Right.
Take it out, because when you take it out, you clean your brain, and then your brain becomes fresh. So when you're serving
All
at
right.
30-40 or 40-30, when you're serving in tennis, if all these things is going on in your mind, you don't know where to serve, what to do. And most of the time you see people,
Right.
they
Right.
miss their serve at that time. They may be doing aces and 15 love, 30 love, but at that time is a very crucial time. And that's where you need your mind to be relaxed. So take your time for that. So all these things are there. You cannot do multitasking. It has to be breaking up. Break up the system. Give people the work. On the right time, do the right thing. You cannot keep busy yourself every time. Read some books. Freshen up. Give some energy to your muscles. Memory, which is very important. So all these
Yeah,
things are
like
there.
I've seen some players also playing musical instruments
Yes.
to keep themselves calm.
Yes. Anything. Talk to your friend. Talk to your family. Have fun. No stress. Smile is very important.
Right, right.
When the tough thing goes, when everything is good and nice, everybody laughs. When the tough time is there, hey, laugh. That will also go away. But if you carry it with you, then you're struggling. You're pushing yourself.
Then
You're
yeah,
you're
then it's a
putting
problem.
extra pressure on your brain, and then the muscles get
Yes.
weak. So fuel is very important.
Good. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Like
Yeah.
it's most of the players must have uh, keep extra load on their brains. Like
Yes.
I've seen players getting choked at the time of 30, 40 down
Yeah,
at the service.
because they're thinking.
Yeah.
You have to
Yes.
relax. You have to relax. Take your time. Breathe in. In yoga we say breathe in, breathe out. Relax yourself. When the brain gets relaxed, you are fresh to ready to go. So how quickly you can do that's very important.
True, true. It's really relevant, and we are glad that we are having this tips from you. So, Luisa, what's your plan? We would like to know your future plans. Like, how are you targeting your game, your sport, and how are you planning to increase rankings? So,
Oh,
what next are you targeting?
well, next target is US Open right now that we're about to
Yes.
start next week. So I think that's
Hmm.
the short term main target, and yeah, like, well, I think now my goal is to go far in the slams. Uh, Now where we are, we have a good set of tournaments coming up. We are here in US Open, then we have the clay season, play at Roland Garros, which is one of my favorite tournaments again,
Oh,
and
really?
then yeah. So next year
Yeah.
I love the clay. I love the red clay. So I'm excited to go back to Europe for the clay season. And then
It's
next year
nice.
we'll
It's
see what it
nice.
looks like. We'll see. Everything is changing so fast. Every week there's something new or dropping out. COVID
Hmm.
changed a few things. But I'm excited for what's to come for sure.
We are really thinking we are really motivated and from you, so how to take in future. So like most of the youngsters will be really get motivated from you, I guess, right now in order to opt tennis as a sport for themselves.
Yeah, it's a great sport. You learn a lot from it. I think it's a good sport physically. It's a good sport mentally. It's tough on you sometimes, but it's also very rewarding. It teaches you a lot of discipline, um, a lot of self knowledge, um,
True, true, all
yeah,
true.
determination, hard
Yeah,
work.
so I have learned myself a lot of from the sport.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a really amazing sport, I would say.
for sure.
Yeah. So, coach, because we know that most of the people think that service is really important, but it's really hard. So, what are the tips that you would like to give to the youngsters or to the players who are playing any kind of club match or something like that, or juniors, in order to improve their service? And what are the small tips from you would do wonders, I guess.
Well,
So,
every coach has their own way of teaching it, what I feel.
hmm.
But it is very important to understand what the student is looking at. how his body structure is, what he's planning to do, how his motion is. All these things is very important. But there are 2-3 things which I put like, yes, this is how it
Hmm.
should be, is the toss.
So your point of concern basically.
Yes, it's a toss, which
Okay.
should be at 45-degree, not 90-degree
Okay.
when you're standing. And second thing is your chin has to be up. You're looking for the ball,
Mm-hmm.
because what happened, the moment the ball goes up, the people start looking forward. So you are not connecting the ball properly. And
Right.
third thing, which is very important, what I always tell Luisa, that follow the ball. So when you're serving, you should be following your body to that position, so that you're putting your body weight into it also. So all this thing is there. But anyway, pronation is also very important, but that's everybody teaches. But what I feel very important is you are following the ball, which is very important, and the toss.
So you feel the toss and the follow through, I would say.
Follow through is there, but your body also has to, the direction also has to be there on that. Suppose you're serving wide and you're falling to the
Mm-hmm.
left side, you will never get, because you're moving away
Yeah,
from the
because
ball. So you got to follow that. If you're going wide, your body also has to follow. You have to be there. If you're going deep, follow that yourself. You don't want to follow. You don't want to fall on the other side, basically.
yes, I've seen
Like you are trying
players
to hit the
doing
ball
that
here, and
sometimes.
then and you are falling on the other side. That's not the way. You got to follow the ball. Like when you're driving a car, you're steering,
Mm-hmm.
you're driving on the straight. If you're looking here and driving, you'll be getting accident.
Yeah, true,
So
absolutely.
that's what it is. That's what it is. It's very important to follow the ball. Your body has to follow it, so you know which direction is going.
Okay, so like how can we develop like how can we develop juniors in tennis in India specifically? So like as you are a coach, so what are the advice that you would like to give to the juniors, that what tips in order to grow in this sport?
Well, first of all, they should be happy, and
Okay.
they should play all the games. It's not just like tennis, because every area, our muscles requires every movements on it
Right,
when you're
right.
in the tennis court. So it is not just like tennis. They can play soccer, they can play video game. In
Okay.
fact, if I tell you, you'll be laughing. Leander and myself used to play video game on the tour and the car. Yes,
Really?
because that helps with the eyes and hand coordination.
Okay.
We used to do that,
So
So
this is
things
something
are
new that
there.
I have. So this is something new that I know now.
Yeah, not basketball or not soccer. We used to play car, because car used to move fast, and your eyes has to move also accordingly.
Hmm.
So all these things are there. So, and there should not be any pressure from the parents. You know,
Right.
they should enjoy. They should have fun. The more they have fun on the tennis court, the better the player will be. The person will be good. That's very important.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And so here we are now opening the comments for Q&A session. So if anybody wants to ask something, or like any small details, they are free to ask. So we would be glad to hear something from our viewers. So let's see if someone wants to ask. So I guess somebody wants to ask something. So people are saying, hi Sanjay and Luisa.
Hey,
Hello.
So yeah,
table tennis is best.
best for ball and eye coordination. So what's your take, sir?
Oh, good question. How do we build more women tennis players in countries like Brazil and India? I think that's a tough question because it comes a lot, especially I guess in Brazil culture. We don't have that many girls um, playing at high level or getting exposure or visibility on TV or getting yeah, it's not really out there for the audience to see. So I feel like little girls or young girls don't grow up watching tennis, they grow up watching other sports. So it almost feels like it's a sport that is too far, and it's kind of like elite sport in this, both I guess in Brazil and India as well. And so it's hard to break that barrier between like how do we get young girls to see tennis as a sport that they would want to pursue and motivate them to make them believe that they can make it as well. So I think it's kind of tricky, and part of what one of my motivations is to get better and get good and even more visibility in Brazil, so we get more exposure of women's tennis and even more doubles exposure on TV or anywhere, or just on the media, or just in general in the culture of Brazil, to get more girls to be interested in playing. So I think that's one of the ways that we can do, and also talking to them and maybe going back and giving back to young girls, trying to inspire them some way and show them that they can also make it, and it's a good career, it's a good sport to be playing, but it's a tricky one,
So
and I think it takes time.
yeah, right.
But
So
in
Ayush,
but in
yes, yes,
India,
coach.
but in India, you have more of a like a study. You have to study that, which is very important, and the parents doesn't allow any kids to go and play tennis or any sports.
Yes.
Study is
Hmm.
very important, and then after that, they say, "Oh, you have to get married also." So all these pressures are there. But we have some good young tennis players, very
Hmm.
good, and they play in the world level, which is great. So there we have before also, and we have still have some of the good girls in India.
So yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Also, somebody
Luisa,
yeah,
yes, yes, you're saying something.
somebody said to make it more accessible as well. So that's definitely a big thing. I think in Brazil, for example, it's an expensive sport. It's hard to get public courts or anything like that. And if you see in the States, in the US, they have park
Mm.
courts and you get access to tennis so easily. So that's definitely one of the main reasons as well.
So Luisa, this is a second question from you from Ayushman. So he wants to ask, what's your opinion about the US Open happening this month post COVID?
I think they surprised me in a positive way. I think if you asked me a month and a half, or maybe a month or two ago, I'd be like, I don't know, like they shouldn't be doing this, and it sounded a bit
Hmm.
crazy. But now that we're here, looking back, it's definitely time to get back on the courts. Obviously, I still wish the draws were just normal size, and some things are just the way they are. But I'm definitely glad they put on an event and are trying to make it happen, because I really feel like we need a tour back. So even if it's slowly and the way it is, it's not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. So definitely on board with it.
So it's a kind of an open, I guess, open question to both of you. So Anandita is asking tips for a small kids to become pro players.
Well, as I said, let the kid enjoy. There should not be any pressure from the parents. They know you got to
Hmm.
do this or you got, because everything is important in the kid's life. The happiness, the family, sports, everything is there. So let the kid enjoy, have fun. Whatever the kids wants to do, let them do. Because there is a certain age where it comes, okay, now what you want to focus on? You want to focus on tennis. So when you want to focus on tennis, so you have other sports also which comes into it. So
Right,
first,
right.
the important thing is that let the child enjoy, have fun, because that's how he is.
So one more question.
Mhm.
So how do we make tennis more accessible as it's a very expensive sport?
Well,
So
well, it is. That's why in India, I've seen, because I used to struggle because my uncle used to play tennis, and
Mm-hmm.
with their broken racket, even the curved racket, which used to be like this, wooden one at that time, I used to take racket from him. So I was lucky to start tennis in that way. And I still remember I was playing a match in South Club in Calcutta with
Okay.
a curved racket like this. So I had to serve from this side and then switch my grip to play like this. So it was tough. It is expensive sports, and there has to be some sponsor coming up. The association should be helping. Ground root tennis should be there where they can get something. So all these things are there, and that's why in India we cannot do so much of sports because parents, they say, "Oh, no, 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 don't do sports. Go and study. We'll take care of it. At least you can start earning money." But in sports, they have no choice. Like they don't know what to do because in India, sports is like second or third tier. First is you have to study. If you are not study, you are out. You are not. You are not good. So all these things
Right,
are
right.
there.
It's great to have you on our webinar, Coach and Luisa.
Yep.
So, if our viewers want to stay updated and wants more sessions like this, stay tuned at allforsport.in. And if you are really a tennis passionate, join our tennis community, which is basically we are making sports accessible to many. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
You,
both
Namaste.
of you, for having
yeah,
us. For having.
thank you.
Have a good day. Have a good day, both of you.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.